Hello and welcome to another edition of Golden Eagle Sports Report.
Volleyball preps to face the Badgers in the NCAA Tournament. Men's basketball avoids disaster against Eastern Illinois. And women's basketball routs Loyola Chicago 92-30. Yikes. All that and more starts right now.
Good evening, Marquette. I'm Jack Phillips.
And I'm Chris Reisner. Let's kick things off with Allie Barber, Jenna Rosenthal, and the rest of the MU volleyball squad. But before we get into their matchup with the Badgers, let's check out how they did in the Big East tournament. Marquette managed to beat Butler in a closely contested match, and Villanova couldn't hang on to beat Creighton, one of the best volleyball teams in the country. So Marquette will be facing Creighton, a team that they've had a sort of rivalry with this year in the Big East Championship. Both teams hoping to take home the title and go to the NCAA Tournament.
The Wire Sports Desk caught up with the head coach Ryan Tice after the selection show. Let's hear what he had to say about making the tournament.
You know, I'm really happy for Marquette to be 7 straight. I think that's a big deal and something we're proud of. Yeah, I think they're excited. You know, I think there's a bitterness that, you know, we wanted to knock Creighton off the throne that they've been on for the last few years. And so we'll be excited for that for next year, but now it's December time. It's time for NCAAs. I think it's you know, it's fun with the in-state rivalry, you know, and the regional process, you know, can do that and put you in those situations. And so, you know, it's a good draw. It'll be a tough weekend for sure, but it's always fun playing those guys. I know our team gets fired up for it every time. Their middles are pretty good, you know, so you're going to have to contain those guys. And then I think their lefts got to us a little bit last time, and we actually did a good job on Radke. Williams wasn't in, and so we'll have our hands full for sure with the middles and the pins, but we'll have to get stops, and you got to score points. You can't give them 4 and 5 chances.
One of the few veterans on this team, Jenna Rosenthal, had some great things to say. She's certainly excited for this matchup, to say the least.
It's special every time sitting there watching, you know, to hear them start talking about volleyball as, you know, they're airing yet another basketball game on ESPN, and you hear them start talking about volleyball and, you know, your heart picks up a little bit and you get excited because they start rattling off and they start listing names and you can't wait for yours. And every single time, I'm so blessed to have been able to be here 4 times now, and every time it's special. It never gets old. I'm excited. I thought this was a really good draw for us this year because we have that experience playing Wisconsin, and you know, the team's hungry. Like, we know them. They're an hour away from campus, and so, you know, that was a really good draw for us. And I think we're fired up and we're able to go and get those guys, and, you know, kind of give them a bit more of what we were able to do early on in the season. You know, there's that pride in you that wants to say that, you know, Marquette volleyball, you know, it's not Wisconsin volleyball, Marquette volleyball. You know, there's 2 very powerful teams in the state, and, you know, there's lots of debates about Wisconsin Marquette, and so with a really decisive performance, we can answer some of those questions.
Now let's send it over to our analysts to get their thoughts about Friday's tournament matchup.
Let's get right to it. Wisconsin beat Marquette earlier this year 3-1, and now the Golden Eagles are going to be playing them in the NCAA tournament. So Patrick, I'm going to go to you right now. What do you think Marquette's chances are against this Wisconsin team?
Well, Daniel, I think they can gut it out. They've been gelling well as of late, and they've beaten some pretty good opponents. I mean, a lot of their players have been playing really well, including Allie Barber. So I think they can gut it out.
Yeah, I agree. Allie Barber, you know, Big East Player of the Year. She's been really helping the squad out a lot. This is Tice's 4th time in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
So he has a lot of experience. He knows what he's doing. He's been there before. And Creighton lost to Marquette about a couple months ago, and Creighton is ranked above Wisconsin. So I think that the Marquette volleyball team has a really good chance in this game against Wisconsin. So Marquette has an incredibly young team, and when they faced them against the Badgers earlier this year, the development of Hope Wrench and Anna Hawk, and along with the rest of the Marquette youth, what do you think about their development and how they have helped this team?
Well, as of late, their chemistry has been there, and Tice has done a good job of getting them to, you know, play as a team, play as a group, play as a unit, and get them to play well. I mean, as you said, they beat Creighton and they beat Georgetown in that tournament. So I think, you know, with all the good games they've won, I think this gives them a lot of experience against Wisconsin that
Right.
they didn't have earlier in the year.
Right, I agree. I think Anna Hawk and Hope Wrench are a huge part of this program, and along with Allie Barber, this whole team is about youth, and that youth it puts a chip on your shoulder. You know, when you're the young up and comings in the tournament, and I think that's gonna build them along as they go and play in this.
And the veteran coaching is Hope too. You know, Tice 4 NCAA
Right.
appearances. I mean,
It's huge.
what more can you ask for?
Right. In the last meeting with Wisconsin, Allie Barber came through with 21 kills and hit 34%, but she was the only player to really show up in this game. So what kind of game plan does Coach Tice have to draw up to get the rest of the team involved?
Well, I think he's done that already during this season. As I said before, their chemistry's been really good as of late. You know, players like Jenna Rosenthal, Anna Hawk, you know, Hope Wirch have stepped up to the plate as of late. And, you know, when they do, Marquette plays well. So I think that's what they need to do.
Right, yeah, I agree. I think that once you get the key players that you mentioned, Jenna Rosenthal and others, once you get them involved, it takes the pressure off Allie Barber. And when she gets a chance to just take over the game, it's over.
When you have multiple, you know, guns firing off at the same time, it's hard to stop them.
Exactly.
You know, once they get on fire, it's really hard to stop them.
Right, exactly. That's all the time we have here. Jack and Chris, back to you guys.
Well, thanks, guys. Coming up next, we'll talk about men's basketball's brush with disaster against Eastern Illinois. So don't go away, because Golden Eagle Sports Report will be right back. Welcome back to the Golden Eagle Sports Report. Once again, I'm Jack Phillips. Despite the really high hopes for the Marquette women's basketball team this season, they sit at 2-2 so far. A week ago, Marquette kicked off the home portion of their regular season. Well, let's have a look at the highlights. Starting here with the drive and dish to Erica Davenport. Misses the first one. She'll get her own rebound and fight for the second chance bucket. And later on, it's a cross-court pass over to Lauren Van Clunen, who gets the easy finish. Starting off with some great passing for the Golden Eagles. But Van Clunen wasn't done just yet, as she's going to get the steal right here. And long story short, it's an easy fast break layup for Van Clunen. And now it's going to be Danielle King with the beautiful dish dish to Davenport, kickstarting some Marquette offense. And they do say defense can lead to good offense, and Marquette proved that theory correct, as the block leads to an easy Isabel Spingola tray, looking like Steph Curry with the number 30. Van Clunen, she can shoot threes too, by the way, folks, as she buries the tray from deep. And fast breaking it here, it's the pass from King to Spingola for the and one. Barely gets the roll in. The Al McGuire Center was getting hyped after that play. And the king of the court, looking like the queen, is Danielle King buries the three with the foul. She would make the free throw, and Davenport bowling her way into the paint, getting easy lands, and the icing on the cake goes to Danielle King with the easy fast break bucket. Marquette would later get the W, 83-63.
Over Thanksgiving, the team traveled to Cancun, Mexico, and lost a heartbreaker against Tennessee, 101-99. But they came back and they blew out Montana, 87-68. Let's take a deeper look into the matches. So Tennessee, known as one of the best women's basketball programs, they're ranked 12 in the country. Jamie Neard with 26 points and 15 boards. And in this high scoring and high rebounding game, as you see, Renia Davis and Mercedes Russell both posted double-doubles. Marquette was ranked 20th at the time, now 23rd. A lot of their points this season have been coming off forced turnover. That's something they're really good at, 27 points off of turnovers, 66 points in the paint. They can get it done inside and outside. Only 4 3-pointers on the game for Blockton, but she did record a season high, 28 points and 11 boards, and Natisha Heidemann added 23 points as well.
Well, Marquette ended up going 1-1 in Cancun. Let's see how they did in their win against Montana.
Yeah, Natisha Heidemann recorded a game-high 21 in this one, and Marquette was just on fire from three-point range. They shot 50%, 13 of 26. That's just a crazy percentage. They trailed once, but managed to lead, or they didn't trail once, and they managed to lead by as many as 29 points, 25 team assists. They really were playing some team basketball. Amani Wilborn had 7, and they dominated the boards with 43 total rebounds.
And you got to thank Erica Davenport there, averaging 8 rebounds per game. She's really the key to getting the boards, getting the fast breaks going, and hopefully some easy baskets.
Absolutely. She's gotten several double-doubles. She's a double-double machine when she's going. She's a big part of this team. But anyway, Lauren Van Clunen, the redshirt freshman, had a great tournament over Thanksgiving. Let's get an inside look on her skill level. Our own Nathan DeSutter has the story.
Heading into the 2017-18 season, the 16th-ranked Big East favorite Golden Eagles were depending on a strong and deep core led by unanimous preseason Big East Player of the Year, Alizea Blockton. But through their first 2 games, an unlikely hero has emerged. Redshirt freshman forward Lauren Van Clunen. The stats leap off the page. 17 points, 7 rebounds, and shooting 50% from beyond the arc. The wing who was barely on anyone's radar just earned Big East Freshman of the Week. Check out these highlights. Great off-ball movement to create space and knock down this wide-open 3. Beautiful shot, then using her length, Van Clunen gets in the passing lane, finishes with an easy bucket. 6'2" guard, are you kidding? And again in transition, a great feed from Danielle King midcourt, and Van Clunen goes up strong for the hoop. I suppose we should have seen this coming. Look at this offhand drive on media day. Silky smooth. Let's give you 2 angles. She draws the jump from Althea Anderson on the ball fake, then uses her long legs to charge down the lane, leap from beyond the charge circle, and kiss it against the glass for 2. Now let's check out Marquette Madness. Here she is again in transition, getting the tough finish. Some more fast break action. Blockton to Wilborn to Van Clunen. Almost impossible to stop, especially when she can do this. A few possessions later, easy knockdown from deep. Not everything has been perfect, especially post-defense. Credit to Erica Davenport, one of the best bigs in the Big East, but Van Clunen at least has to get in front of her. And she tries to get into the passing lane and pays the price. Davenport drives and kicks to Isabella Spingola for the wide-open 3. Golden Eagles will need Van Clunen to keep it up on offense and step it up on defense if they want to take home the Big East crown.
Good stuff there, Nathan. A lot of stuff to discuss and break down. Daniel and Patrick, let's hear it.
Despite the 2 losses, Marquette is still ranked 23rd. So, Patrick, do you think that this is fair?
I think it's fair enough so far. I mean, both of their losses have come by at most 2 points, one of the games being in overtime.
Right.
So, and it's early on in the season. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell right now. We'll see as the months go on if they can rise or if they can fall. So,
yeah, one of the losses was to 12th ranked Tennessee, and Marquette is ranked 23rd. So
it was a close game
better
too.
Than them.
I mean, 2-point game.
There's nothing wrong with losing to a team that's better than you.
Right.
And I think that the overall performance that they had in Cancun, it was a good one. Although the loss to Tennessee, it was a heartbreaker, but overall I thought they did pretty good.
It shows they can play with the big teams.
Right. Alizea Blockton continues to score at will for Marquette with 22.5 points a game. She was named to the Big East Honor Roll this week for her great stat line. It's way too early to tell, but could she be the best player in the conference?
I don't know. The freshman Laura Van Cluner, she's been playing pretty well too. I mean,
that's true.
You know, Big East All-Tournament team last year, so I think she's improved.
I think she definitely has a chance. She was, as a freshman, named Big East Freshman of the Year. She was named to the Big East first team last year, and this year in the preseason, she was unanimously named the Big East Player of the Year.
But yeah, she's an all-around player too. She's averaging, you know, 20-something points, over 5 rebounds, and over 5 assists. So she's getting it done on both ends of the floor and getting it done for her teammates.
Right. Not only is she doing it on the court, but she's doing it off the court as a leader. She's really, as a junior, a big factor for this team and how she leads and how she projects herself for this team. And she's second in points in the Big East, so that's another really huge factor for them. Marquette hosted the 0-4 La Jolla Ramblers this morning.
Oh man.
You wanna just go ahead?
Loyola might want to end their basketball program right now.
I mean, that's a little far. But
62-point differential.
Oh
man.
They lost by 60 points. 62 points, excuse me. And I'm just gonna read off some stats for you. Everyone from Marquette played. They shot 57% from the game. Almost everyone scored. They shot 37% from 3, and this was the biggest win in Marquette history for the women. So, I mean, this is like varsity against a freshman team.
It's a good confidence builder for them, especially
Right.
if you're the coach. It's good for you to see what all your players can do in a real game. So I'm glad that all the players played.
Yeah, great points. And I think that they also outscored them 21-2 in the first quarter. So
yeah, they only shot like 20 or 30%.
Right.
Loyola did.
So huge performance for the Marquette women's team. Sorry for Loyola, but
Rethink that basketball program.
Jack and Chris, we're going to send it back over to y'all.
Well, coming up next, the men's team was also in the tropics this past week, so we'll have a recap on how their matchups went and how this will affect the rest of their season. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Golden Eagles Sports Report. Chris, I think it's time that we talk about men's basketball. What do you think?
Absolutely, Jack. The biggest news of the year thus far came yesterday for the Golden Eagles when junior guard Haanif Cheatham announced he was going to be leaving the school due to personal reasons. Cheatham started all 5 games for Marquette this season, averaging 8.2 points and 2.8 rebounds per game. Cheatham's departure leaves the Golden Eagles shorthanded with only 8 eligible players until Harry Froling comes back active second semester.
Definitely a huge blow to that roster, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, just accounting for that 28 minutes he brings per night, that's a lot of minutes to disperse around. And the experience, one of the few upperclassmen, he's one of the best perimeter defenders on this team. Just a big loss and a big blow for this program.
Well, let's look back at the Maui Invitational. He did have 3 games left, so Marquette, they did place third in the Maui Invitational after defeating VCU and LSU. So that is a plus, right, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be happy with the performance that they made. You can't be too upset with losing to VCU. That's the 6th-ranked team in the country. They're being picked by a bunch of experts to make the Final Four. So I think overall you've got to be happy with the performance. And Andrew Rousey, how about him? He was just a scoring machine in the Maui Invitational. I was seeing Jay Billis hashtag the thing. Andrew Rousey, he was just a force to be reckoned with, shooting lights out.
You know you've made it when Jay Billis is really just even hashtagging the thing for Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette getting some national recognition was pretty cool. And Notre Dame earned the Maui Invitational title after they beat Wichita State, a huge win for that program. It was a thriller. It was I don't know if you caught it, but one of the best games I've seen all year. And anyway, post-Maui Invitational, the jet lag must have gotten to the Golden Eagles because they performed stellar in Maui, but they had a matchup with Eastern Illinois coming up, and they found themselves trailing early to Eastern Illinois. But here's Sakar Annam turning some defense into offense. He puts Tara Lewis in the spin cycle. Sakar Annam had 9 points and 7 boards on the game, but the story of the game has to go to sophomore Sam Hauser. We're going to be seeing a lot from him in this highlight. I'm not exaggerating. Sam Hauser bodying up against the smaller defender, Ray Crossland, shoots right over him for the easy 2. And stay tuned for more from Sam Hauser coming up. But here's Marcus Howard, a little shake and bake, dishes it to Hauser. Hauser draws on the defense, kicks it back out to Howard, repays the favor. Howard for 3. We see that all the time. He's just such a pure shooter from out there. And patience is a virtue, folks. Sam Hauser knows that. He's going to back down Ray Crossland again. Some nice little footwork in the paint, gets the easy 2. Sam Hauser was the main reason, dropping a 30-piece in this game, that Marquette was able to stay close. Little pick and pop action here. Andrew Rousey's going to dish it off to Sam Hauser. Shoots it over the outstretched hand of 6'9" Musa Dama. So Sam Hauser for 3 just could not seem to miss in this game. So when in doubt, find the hot hand. Andrew Rousey knows that, weaving through the defense, finds Sam Hauser in the corner. Bang! Sam Hauser just refusing to let this game slip away against Eastern Illinois. Just on fire. But Andrew Rousey going to take it himself here. Draws the foul and one. What a miraculous finish from the redshirt senior Andrew Rousey. He just has a knack for making those incredible shots. And he certainly knows how to hit big shots when they count. He's going to call up a screen from Sakar Annam right here. Pull up from Wisconsin Avenue. Andrew Rousey, an absolute cold-blooded 3. He just has no conscience when it comes to pulling up from downtown. Marcus Howard going to get in on the action here. Calls a screen of his own, little hesitation. Shields his body from the defense and gets the easy lay-in with the left hand. Nice finish from Marcus Howard. Andrew Rousey's going to pass it off here to Howard. Howard's going to pass it down low to Hauser. Some nice ball movement. Hauser finds Greg Elliott, the freshman. What a finish in the clutch for Greg Elliott, the freshman. And Marquette's going to get back some good transition defense. They get a stop. So keep your eyes on Greg Elliott here. He gets fouled. He missed the first free throw. He's going to miss the second free throw, but he doesn't put his head down. He gets in a defensive stance, stays in front of D'Angelo Jackson, gets the stop, and Sam Hauser's going to collect the rebound, reminiscent of his rebound against Villanova last season. Marquette, in this close thriller, is going to hang on 84-81, but you could say against Eastern Illinois, a little too close for comfort. So here's what Coach Wojo had to say after the game.
He and I met over the weekend, and he informed me that he had a family matter. Obviously, I'm not at liberty to discuss that publicly, but he felt like it was in his best interest to move closer to home, to be near his family during this time. So we certainly wish Haney the best. He's contributed a lot over his 2.5 years, and we wish him the best, and we wish good health on all that are that he loves.
Well, let's send it over to our guys at the analyst desk one final time to break down the latest in Marquette hoops. Take it away, boys.
All right, Patrick. I'm going to get into it right now. The Golden Eagles did not look good last night against a subpar Eastern Illinois team. What happened?
Their heads are still in Maui, Daniel.
Yep.
I think, you know, the long break, a little too much gravy and turkey at Thanksgiving dinner got to them.
I think so. The great weather, I mean, no disrespect to the city of Milwaukee, but the great weather in Maui versus here, and I think they're...
Just being away from home, too.
Right. I think the jet lag, it was all just a factor that they messed up. They didn't play well this game. So now we go back to Haanif Cheatham's absence, what it means to this team, him not being there. Are they still going to make the NCAA tournament, Patrick?
Well, I think now it's all up to the freshmen. They have to step up now. I mean, guys like Greg Elliott, Jamal Cain, Theo John, they're going to be relied on for more minutes during these games. I mean, I like Jamal Cain, and I think he can fill the void of Cheatham really well. And you know, the redshirt sophomore, Sakar Annam, he's been playing well at the small forward, but he is a little undersized. You know, Cheatham was, what, 6'6", 6'7", and Annam's only like 6'4". But he's strong. He's getting those good layups, getting those good finishes around the rim. So.
Right, yeah. Next man up. That's what I have to say about it. Final question for you, Patrick. What grade would you give the Golden Eagles for their performance in Maui?
I'd say a B+. They played really well against VCU. You know, a tough one against Wichita State. I mean, any team, you know, would have a tough game. But Wichita State was ranked 6. They still are ranked 6.
Right. And
Marquette was able to hang in there for at least the first half. And then they played pretty well against LSU and pull out the win. But I think the test, Sam Hauser and Andrew Rousey both had really great tournament. And Andrew Rousey was named to the all-tournament team.
Right. Third place finish for them. I think that was pretty good. I also give it a B+. That's all the time we have tonight. Jack and Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. And before we head out, spike ball has taken Marquette by storm, a new innovative sport. Our own Andrew Goldstein was on hand to watch them play.
On a blustery late October day, at a field normally associated with soccer, a new game is taking hold.
It's just like a fun backyard sport. I didn't really have like a competitive outlet. Spike ball has kind of given me that. And I decided to just kind of try it out because it's not much of a commitment, but it's still it's a blast.
Spike ball debuted as a club sport earlier this year and just hosted its first tournament.
The object of spike ball is to serve this ball off the round net in a way that your opponent can't return. Some people are better at it than others.
For club president Josh Schneider, organizing the event has been months in the making, from arranging supplies to getting people to sign up.
We were kind of expecting a few more. We were trying to get 20 to 30 teams. We had 17 sign up.
The main obstacle to teams signing up was the weather. It was 40 degrees and windy out. Not ideal conditions for spike ball.
The game's just harder just because like your hand's cold, so it's hard to get a real good shot on it. And then the more clothing you're wearing kind of just slows you down a little bit.
Still, some people were happy to play a summer game in winter conditions.
I actually don't mind it. As long as you bundle up, you got the gloves, you're good to go.
They come for the competition, but also for the friendship.
The amount of new people and new friends that I've made in this sport is crazy to me.
From Valley Fields, Andrew Goldstein, Marquette Wire Sports.
Oh no! Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks you for joining us on the Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm Jack Phillips.
I'm Chris Reisner. Good night, Marquette.